Activate.
All right, everybody. Welcome to This Pink Cloud. I am DJ Kelly Reverb. Yay. We're a show that is about multiple pathways to recovery, mental health, all that good stuff. Please smash that like button, and Chad will cut off his leg if you do.
Whoa, yeah, I don't know why you would say something like that. That sounds weird, dude.
That sounds weird,
Hey,
but you
brother.
might do it, right?
I might do
if
it.
they do.
I mean, it just depends, dude, on how
Right.
many times it gets smashed, dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in today, dude.
Yeah, man.
Always a pleasure.
I got to introduce my guest, dude. My guest is my fucking beard, dude. Look at this fucking thing right now. Hell yeah, dude.
Your guest
Fucking
is
DJ and producer and hell yeah advocate right
Hell
there, baby.
yeah
You know what I'm talking
advocate
about? You know what I'm
and-
saying? Hell yeah.
beard enthusiast.
Yeah, man, that's what
Facial hair
That's how it
enthusiast
works, dude.
is what you are.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right. Well, I am excited to have this young man on the show. He is an Americana recording artist. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Christopher Wright. How are you, Chris? Do you
Good,
prefer
brother.
Christopher or Chris?
Man, you know, my mama named me Christopher right before the doctor slapped me on the ass. So I tried to get away from it, man, but I couldn't run fast enough. So we'll stick with the thing they gave me.
All right. So, Christopher.
There it is.
All right. It is official. You are
My
now
answer's a lot
Christopher.
worse, though.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. We just had Michael Moulton on last week, and his better half, Lee. So we just had them on, and you happen to be friends with him, and he was like, "Oh, you should have this guy on. He has got a killer backstory." So, Christopher, let us hear the fantastic backstory.
Well, you know, it's funny. Michael, so Michael called me up. He had Into the Rock. He had iHeartRadio, a badass show that was it's really cool.
Right.
And I was actually listening to that show for a while, and I got a phone call from Michael. I was in Iowa City, and I'd left my my laptop in Des Moines, Iowa. So it's about 3 hours apart. So I needed to, he called me, and I was about 3 hours apart. And he's like, "Hey man, can you be on my show at about 7:00?" And I'm in Iowa City, and it's like noon or 1:00, and I just said, "Yeah," you know. I didn't have I didn't have what I
Right.
needed to do it. So I got my job done in Iowa City, and I went back to Des Moines, and we did our interview. And ever since then, and I think that was in maybe that was 2018 or 2019. And since then, dude, we've just been boys, man. And he's got there's some things that he said to me over the years that just landed just right and just right in time. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah.
you know, like when you go, guys, when you go to that meeting and it's like somebody was in the background and everybody was like planning on what they were going to say behind your back. And you go into the meeting and it's like, holy shit, they all knew what I was going through today because they're nailing it.
Right.
Have you done that before? That's kind of the way that's the way I feel. Like sometimes Michael and I are on the same page. So that's really cool. Bro.
Right. That guy's stealing my story, man. How does that guy know my story?
So, man, I had in 2016, and I told him this to Michael, man, and it seems to be the further away from it I get, I get a little bit more clarity from the chaos that was all that shit. But ultimately, what happened was I had acute liver failure in September of 2016, and my at that time my pancreas had completely shut down. So my liver fails, my pancreas fails, and then my spleen ruptures. So
wow,
all my blood,
the trifecta.
Trifecta, man. The only thing that kept me alive was my kidneys. My kidneys didn't shut down somehow, and that's what.
Oh wow.
Being here with you guys today. So, but that was, I was in a medical center in McKinney here. I actually was I was throwing something in the back of my truck, bro, and I was actually an 80-pound bundle of shingles, and I picked it up, threw it in my truck, and I felt like this pain in my stomach. So I ended up getting like a hernia from doing that. But I just go into
Right.
the emergency room with the hernia, and I'm in pain and stuff, and they look at my eyes and they see that my eyes are yellow, and
Right.
like jaundice, man. And they're like, dude, we're not letting you out of here, not from that, but you're fixing to die, man. You look terrible. How are you walking around right? And at that
Sure.
time, bro, I mean, I had to maintain like a blood alcohol content of like a 0.20 just so that I wasn't vibrating apart, you know?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
no, been there for sure.
Yeah, dude, it was like, the liquor bottle under the bed so that I could like go back to sleep in the middle of the night kind of thing.
Oh yeah, no, it was the water bottle full of vodka, always within arm's reach. Definitely for me as well, dude. Yeah, and like waking up and having anxiety attacks because you're not drunk.
Yeah, you gotta have it on hand everywhere you go. You're like constantly planning.
It was like around. I called it it was like my little baby bottle.
Yeah,
my little baby bottle of vodka.
For sure, dude. It's crazy what we do, and so like. So it was like, cocaine and whiskey for me, man. It was cocaine, whiskey, and it seemed like Northwest Highway always showed up somewhere around in there.
Hey, shout out Northwest Highway, dude. I was homeless out there for 2.5 years. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
So anybody who's from Dallas understands. So, but,
goddamn right.
That kind of living, man, just it caught up to my body, and I couldn't hold up. I'd get a little bit too drunk, so I'd get some blow to kind of tighten everything up so I could talk to you. And then I'd have to get some Ativan because I'd be shaking. So, and then I'd have to get a little bit of weed so that I could eat, so I'm a chemist. I'm a body chemist.
Yeah, right.
Making it all work. I'm making it all work until one day where I have to go to court in McKinney. I had just gotten out of the Collin County Jail, and I'd go to court. And that morning, I was supposed to go to court at 8 o'clock in the morning, but it got delayed back into 10 o'clock. Well, I couldn't drink for 2 hours, dude. So,
oh shit.
So like I start shaking. I start getting my blood pressure goes up, and I'm riding up the upgoing escalator in the Collin County Courthouse, and I had a seizure, and I fell down the upgoing escalator in the courthouse, and then I fell all the way down it, and then it carried me all the way back up. And then I fell all the way back down it. So I've got 3 scars right here on my forehead that say and I woke up. They had to shut the whole courthouse down, bro. I woke up in an ambulance, and this guy's cutting my pants. I had Kenneth Cole pants on. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? These are $200 pair of pants you're cutting here. And he's like, man, you just fell down the upgoing escalator at the courthouse twice.
3 times, dude. Yeah.
You're worried about your fucking pants.
You're in an ambulance, and we're taking you to the hospital. And so that was kind of like, there's clues all around you at that point in time. So fast forward to, to me getting into some serious problem. I went to the hospital. And this is when I get, man, it all culminates to it, that time in September where my liver shuts down. And ultimately what happens, fast forward to this, September the 9th, my church, my parents go to Christ Church here in Plano. They dispatched, Jeff Ron was the pastor that was dispatched to read me my last rites on September 9th.
Mm-hmm.
He's also the same guy that married me and my wife.
All right.
But then that would be years later. But the thing is that like that was a point where like I wanted to go, man. I didn't want to really be around anymore. I was trying to drink myself into where I didn't have to be in this hellscape anymore. And it was like whatever it took for me to get to that place until I got there. And then I I got this feeling of watching my pastor walk. I got a tracheotomy thing down my throat, and I'm like 8 days in a medically induced coma. I can kind of feeling what's going on outwardly. I hear my mom telling my dad Christopher's not going to make it out of the hospital. I think she's just being my melodramatic mom that she's always been. And
right.
And meanwhile, I see my pastor walk in the room, in the hospital room. I'm like, wait a minute, what's that dude doing here? So then it starts to get kind of real all of a sudden. And then I got real scared. I got terrified, man. That was when I thought, wait a minute, I don't want to die, man. I don't want to not be here anymore. So they, there wasn't going to be any transplant for me because I was the one that tore. They weren't giving out alcoholics, livers.
Yeah, right, exactly, right.
So they sent me my community here.
The only way they're giving out livers is if you're Mickey Mantle or J.R. Ewing.
Right. Yeah. Well, at that time, this was prior to when they had like a cure for the whole Hep C thing. That came out actually subsequently, like a month later from me getting that September in 2016. I digress. The thing is that with the my village, the people that I'd grown up with, my coaches in high school, my friends from high school, my fraternity brothers, people that were, were people in our community, apparently cared enough about me to put on a golf tournament and raised about $12,000 to send me to the Mayo Clinic in Florida in Jacksonville, where I'd be I'd post up at Memorial Hospital, and the idea was that I would be there if something came available. And I would just wait it out and see if I could, it was kind of like praying for the best, So dig this out, man. So I'm in Dallas, and they got me scheduled to go to Florida. So, dude, the depth of our depravity in this thing is that this is where I went. Is that I'm in Love Field. I have $100 Visa gift card. My plane gets delayed to go to Florida, and nobody's there with me. I just gone through detox at the hospital in Dallas for 2 weeks, but I'm in the airport with $100 at Chili's 2 drinking on the way to Florida before I go to treatment, bro.
Oh, seriously. Yeah.
So when I got to Florida, I had to detox all over again. I had to go through the whole fucking thing all over. I got drunk on my way to. I mean, seriously, it's hard for me to even. I don't even understand who was making those decisions. First of all, who was serving me at that point in time, too? But that being said, dude, there I found out that I was going to do whatever it took when I was in that hospital at Memorial Hospital. And I went to a place called Stepping Stones, and I told myself I would do whatever it takes, no matter what, to make this thing stop. And I wanted to live. I wanted to.
So I have a question. I have a question for you. Was there any one thing that made you change your mind on your trajectory of wanting to die?
Dude, I'm telling you right now that there is a power greater than us, and I felt it, and I've seen it. It's not like this. I don't have this sensational white light story to say anything about, bro, but I can tell you that when I was in that hospital, I felt like I was burning up, and I felt like I was going to freaking, like, I just wanted it to stop, and all of a sudden there was a peace that came over me. I can't explain it with words, but it said something to the tune of, "You're going to be okay. Listen to me." Dude, that shit is real. That shit.
Yeah. I believe you, man. We've all been there to some level, for sure.
Yeah, man. And it was one of those things where, I dug into the program. I came back in here to ODAT when I got back to town after 28 days out there. For miraculously, all of the stuff that I took and the prayers and all of the support that I got, I didn't ever have to get any surgery. My liver is, I get blood work done all the time now. I'll be 8 years sober in September, dude.
Wow, congrats, man.
Dude. I'm like, I'm at 7.5% body fat, and my bilirubin is normal in my liver today. There's no reason for that,
dude.
There's no
Yeah, that's amazing. How if you give your body a chance to repair, it will.
It's been hell, dude. It's been an incredible amount of work, but every single bit of it has been worth it. All of the people that I've met, including you guys, y'all, like everybody who's in this village, who's in this thing that we're doing, dude. It takes every single one. Oh yeah.
Right, and it's crazy. Yeah, Chad and I always talk about the fact it's like it's a little secret society that you never knew existed. Yeah. Well,
until they are, and
until
then
they
becomes
are,
like fucking. That's the best fucking society I've ever been a part of, dude.
Yeah.
I do way more fucking dope shit with sober people than I've ever done with people that were fucked up. I'll tell you that much.
Bro, what a cool transition. So all of a sudden, like, fast forward to right now, Wylie Hubbard and Lucas Hubbard and Jonathan Tyler and John Michael, who plays bass for Jack Ingram, and fucking Cody Braun, who's playing fiddle for Reckless Kelly all over hell and half of Georgia, dude. All these cats are all on this new project, and everything started with my sobriety and an introduction to Wylie Hubbard. And I've opened for 3 shows for that dude this year. He sat in my We've had green room time where we talk about like 12-step stuff, man. I mean, he's wide open about his program, and it's in his book, so I'm not calling him out here. I've talked to him about it.
You're not telling his story, right?
No, man. It's like that's just, I would have never thought I would have to wreck my life, get sober, so that my career would get started.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's funny how that works out, huh?
Yeah. I wouldn't suggest this career path.
So let's talk about that a little bit. Like, where did your music career start? Like, and how long have you been doing it, and was it ever where it was your main living?
Man, I started playing the guitar when I was a kid, but I started writing songs when I was about 15. One of the first songs that I've written, I actually recorded it out in Nashville. We put it on an EP. It was called "Losing Everything I Never Had" was the name of that EP.
Oh,
because
I
I
like
think
that.
everything I
That's
had
cool.
was an illusion, anyways.
Right.
So, and in that there was a song called "The Calm Inside of Me." You got to check that song out, man.
Okay.
So I wrote that song when I was 15, and my mom had called me up when I was like, I don't know, like 2018, and said, come get all your shit out of the garage because I'm throwing it away. And I found the lyrics and stuff. So I took it out to Nashville and we recorded it. But that's the first date timestamp I can find a song that I wrote. So that being said, I played around with it in high school and in college. I went to school at Texas Tech. And when I was out there, Corey Morrow's a few years older than I am. And so Pat Green's several years older than I am, but they were out there and spending a lot of time in West Texas. And I remember coming home from school and I was telling my dad, I'm like, Dad, I think I'm just going to go ahead and play the guitar for a living because my buddies are doing it and they seem to be having a good time doing it. And he's like, nah.
Right.
You ain't going to make no money playing that goddamn guitar, boy. You need to get a real job. So I listened to my old man.
All right. Yeah.
And I got a real job, and before I was 25 years old, dude, I had 2 kids, a damn fence, and a dog in Little Elm, Texas, and life was just all. So, raising babies, man, and
oh yeah,
and so needless to say, that one didn't work very well, but
sure,
lots of mistakes were made along the way. So that it's just like Michael Moulton brought to my attention one time a book from Tony Evans. It's called Detours.
Okay.
If you haven't read the book Detours by Tony Evans, I highly recommend it because it was like a game changer for me, and that was my detour. But we all can get back on the path that we're supposed to be on, and inevitably, I believe that the universe will kick us back onto the path that we're on. It just depends on how far we skew ourselves off of it.
Right.
And if you're open and willing, just like being open and willing to accept this program, I think that if you're open and willing to listen to the universe guide you and be quiet and meditate and pray, then it will tell you where to go if you're quiet
Right.
enough to listen to the answer.
So I have a question. So then, do you have like a daily routine where you meditate, like at day and night, or how does it go for you?
100%. I found an app called the Calm app in 2017. It was a fledgling app. Now they've got Calm stations in airports all around the world. But
I think I've seen
LeBron
it, actually.
LeBron James is like sponsoring this thing now, and I think Jay Shetty is got a thing on it, and Ryan Holiday and Tamara. They've gotten, this thing is like blown up now. It's got all kinds. It's like a damn like social media platform.
Okay.
But the cool part about it is that since I've been doing it, it actually has been keeping stats, and I think I've got something like 3,000 something times that I've sat down and meditated on this thing since 2017. So like every morning when I get up, I try to do about it. It's a 10-minute guided meditation, and it gives me something to think about. But it also it gets me settled and centered. And I've been doing that pretty much. I mean, pretty religiously, but like
I just downloaded it, by the way. I literally just downloaded the app, so I am definitely going to check it out. Well, because I was going to say, I found like early on, especially in sobriety, I had learned and taken up the actual journaling. And it's not like write down like, oh, I don't feel pretty today, stuff like that. It was like, just some mindfulness in the morning, and just 5 or 6 questions, and then the same thing at night, your daily review.
I read his journal the other day, and every question was, am I a pussy? And he said yes. 6 different times. He was like, am I a pussy? Yes, right. I am a pussy.
And you just have to come to terms with being a pussy. And then, I did magically through meditation, and God, he just said,
God
hey, Kelly,
turned me into the ultimate
Kelly,
pussy.
You are going to be the best pussy ever. So
all right,
I've been waiting to get him. I've been waiting to get him back, dude, all day. Dude.
We shit on each other during the show, so it is what it is. Hey, real quick, let's throw to commercial. We've got our good friend Max the Axe with Lone Star Injury Attorneys. If you go to thispinklawyer.com, it will take you to his website. Lone Star Injury Attorneys.
Lone Star Injury Attorneys.
And he will get you the maximum results for your personal injury needs. There you go. And then Chadwick has, actually, his mama has a book out, and it is called Two Calls. Two Birds.
A phone call as a parent that your son has been hit by a car and is being life flighted.
2 hours before we got the call, Chad had called me to tell me it was the best day of his life. And then I get another call, and a stranger had found him, and they were care flighting him to a trauma unit, and that he would start praying for our family that we needed to hurry.
When you wake up on the operating table and they're like, we're going to cut off both your legs, and then I wake up and then one's gone, the other one's in an external rod system, it's just not good. The real kicker is that I've had all of these scars all over my arms, and that's all from complications resulting from drug abuse.
I never thought about giving up on him. Never. This is my son, and I know he's going to be okay. You cannot just have help for the addict. You have to seek out professional help. The whole family has been affected.
And I just want to make that very clear to anybody who's out there listening, that if I can do this thing, as much as I've been through, man, there's a lot of wiggle room for people before they get to that point where they can do it too.
All right. That was very exciting, Chad.
Yeah,
But y'all are, your mom's got the book out, and then y'all are also both doing speaking engagements, so if they want to get a hold of you.
Yeah, so it's twocalls.org, and it's also on Amazon. And then you can go email either one of us at chad@twocalls.org or Sheila at twocalls.org. And yeah, man, What's up, man?
TwoCoast.org.
TwoCoast.org.
All right. And then we actually have some music coming out. This one is actually out on June 27th, so it's probably already out right
Yeah,
now.
because we live in the future.
That's right.
I want to be where the sun warms the sky. When it's time for us to be a star, you've been watching them go by. You take for faces, no cares in this world. We'll go like the boy and the boy loves a girl.
All right. And we are back. So that is streaming on all major platforms. On
Apparently
YouTube.
it's on YouTube already.
Yeah, it's on YouTube already.
So YouTube
early.
just ripped it, dude.
Yeah,
That's what's up, dude.
it's weird, whatever. But it's out there, and then we've got a bunch of cool stuff coming out. And then also, if you want some of the free downloads, go to soundcloud.com/Kelly Reverb, and we've got a bunch of remixes and stuff out there, and they're all free.
Yeah, man. Or they can go to my SoundCloud and find all the cool shit, dude. That's like dark shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
a bunch of free shit on there,
Because
too.
being dark is cool, bro. Yeah, dude. Anyway, so back to our guest, Christopher, if you are there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, he's just like, I was going to go ahead and take a nap real quick. But so tell us, like, I mean, what's going on, like, musically. I know you said that you're working. So is the album in the works? Is it partially done? Do you have stuff coming up, or what's up?
Yeah, yes, man. We have the first. It'll be my debut album because we put out a few EPs. I think more than anything, it was like when I did "I've Been to Hell, You Can Have It." That song went top 50 in the Texas country charts, and then
I like that name.
Yeah. Check that song out, bro. All right. I mean, that song is what started this thing going, because I don't believe that I would have. I don't think that I would have considered doing this full time and moving all the way over if I hadn't had. I had 3 back to back top 50s in Texas country music on 3 songs that I released. So.
Oh, wow.
I mean, this is stuff that didn't have any like professional, not really any professional signature behind it, except for just me and the producers that I had worked with. So, I guess it garnered some attention. Then we started touring in 21, 22, and 23. I played about 120 shows each year. So I got a chance to get a lot of reps in and meet some different people. And I started going out to Nashville on a regular basis back in 2019. I was driving out there every month. I'd be out there for a week. And then, dude, that lasted for about 1.5 years. And that's 9.5 hours each way. So I had to come up with a hack to be able to be out there on a regular basis, but be able to have some affordability and staying out there and everything. So I bought an apartment downtown, and we Airbnb it when I'm not there. So I've got a place to stay, when I go to Nashville. So here recently,
that's cool.
I go out there quite a bit more often, and I've become a regular. Like I got a regular spot out there with the Music Row Freak Show. It's right off of Music Row. It's at the local bar right there.
Okay.
And then I've got some relationships built in where I've gotten a chance to play at the Listening Room and some of those places off Broadway. So now, I never thought that this kid from Hawkins, Texas would be playing a guitar in Nashville, Tennessee on Music Row, but it's happening right now.
Right. Yeah. Well, I got a question for you from a performance point of view. Like, it's still a little bit there, but whenever I would DJ, I mean, I would be getting hammered. So, I'm sure that was probably the same when you were playing, on stage and singing and all that kind of stuff. So I was curious, does it ever rear its head and just go, you can have one?
I tell you what, because of the people that I have around me, that answer is pretty easy. I don't have.
Right.
There's no illusion that I have in my brain whatsoever that I can drink safely. That
Right.
illusion has been squashed unequivocally. If I make the
Mhm.
decision to do that, then that will be me saying I no longer want to live. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I think
Yep.
ultimately I know better than that. You know what I'm saying? So
Sure.
it'll be a choice going forward, and it's totally fucking on me if I fuck
Right.
up. Now, one of the things that we hear a lot of times is people are like, "Man, I already know I've got another drunk in me. I just don't know if I got another sober in me."
Yeah.
And Ray says that. Ray says that a lot, and you know, and I understand that now. I get it because,
Yeah.
like, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I have another. I know I definitely have another drunk in me, but man, I don't think I
Right.
can come back.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so that
I like how you put that. That already sounds like a country song.
Oh yeah, well,
You know, I got it. Here you go. Wait, no, here it is. I'm co-writing for you. I got another drunk in me.
Yeah. Or have you ever? I got
I'm gonna
one.
keep doing that.
I got one, dude. Have you ever had have you ever had one of those times where you're like on the floor next to the toilet and like the cold of the floor actually feels kind of like inviting and comfortable because you're in such a shitty way that you're
Except you're hanging out with all the urine.
yeah. So like so I'm sitting there. I had a buddy of mine and we were actually writing songs for this album right here, and Tobin was kind of doing this little shuffle thing, and I started going, water on my face, cold beer in the shower, doing what I gotta do to wash off the night before. Could have been a day, a week, or an hour. No idea who I'm even living for. Fighting back the demons, pounding at the door. Waking up and ready to take on 100 more. Haunted by delusions, selfish man implores. Coming face to face with that linoleum floor. So
Hell
I
yeah,
like
dude.
that. Chad just took off his panties and he's trying to throw them at you.
Yeah, dude.
coming face to
No, but
face
that was
with
great, dude.
linoleum floor.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like the linoleum part, dude.
Yeah,
Like you could have been like
the song-
tile or like, yeah, dude, linoleum, dude. That really that really settles it in.
So the song title is Linoleum.
That's
Hell yeah,
funny.
dude.
So is that one already out or is that gonna
It's on
be
the
on
album.
the upcoming?
It's
On the upcoming album?
It sounds
Okay.
It sounds fucking badass, dude. It is bluesy and dude. Wait, it's like this album. It's got Jonathan Tyler all over it, dude. It's
Okay.
Jonathan Tyler
So-
and Lucas Hubbard turned this into a beast.
Nice.
Hell yeah, dude.
So when does that drop?
Man, we're shooting for September, bro. I'm hoping.
Okay.
I think I'm driving down there tomorrow to. We're gonna get the mixes done, so it should be mastered hopefully by the end of July. So after we get all the assets and everything together, you guys know it's like, dude, this thing is like there's like 80 different things going on behind the scenes to get one of these things out. So,
Yeah.
we've got
Trust
promotional people.
Chad and I know well.
Yeah, y'all know the drill. But
Yeah.
yeah, man. So, but we're at the position in where production value wise, all of it's in the can. It just needs to be mixed this week, and
Right.
it's exciting, man.
Well,
really exciting.
it's exciting. Yeah, I was gonna say it's exciting to actually see that finish line, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
How many?
yeah.
So how many tracks are going to be on the album?
10. We got 10 on there. I recut "Drunk on Me." I had a song called "Drunk on Me" on the second album, which was "What Makes This Garden Grow," and
Right.
that song, I wrote that song because, well, my wife told me my then girlfriend, she comes over to my apartment and she leaves all of her stuff in my apartment. She says she's going to be right back. And dude, she went out and she got drunk on me, you know? So instead of like calling her phone over and over again, because this was like early in the relationship, so I didn't like psycho dial her phone or or like call the
Yeah,
cops
sure.
and try to find out if she's okay or anything. I just
Right,
sat back
yeah.
and wrote a song.
Uh
And I
huh.
wrote the song called Drunk on Me, and we put it on the first EP, but dude, we recut it on this one, and it's a lot more bluesy and swanky. So I had to
Cool.
include it on this album.
Right.
Hell yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah. Can you include a bonus track called "Chad is a Pussy" on the album as well? I had to get him. I had to get him back. So
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna keep fucking putting my hand in his face when
I'm
he's
gonna
talking.
keep putting my hand in his face. I'm
keep
gonna
doing
hold. I'm
that.
just gonna hold your hand.
Just hold my hand for the
awkwardly-
camera right there.
awkwardly. There we go.
There you go.
There we
You
It's
fucking
like
pussy.
we're like Thelma and
You
Louise.
would hold my hand, you
We're
fucking
like
pussy.
Thelma and Louise.
Yeah, dude.
So, but anyway, okay, so then what happens after the album releases? Do you already have like a tour set up and everything scheduled for the long road haul?
You know, we've been because of the fact that we've kind of had a well, this is going to be more of a band sound, and Judy
Okay.
Judy Hubbard is Ray's wife. She's
Mhm.
given me some pearls of wisdom, and I've just kind of ran with it in my own concept in my mind, thinking that that ultimately playing the 120 shows a year kind of thing and doing the little rooms and stuff is probably not going to be the way we are going forward. We're going to probably do bigger shows, less amount of times, but we'll do full band sets
Right.
and stuff. So
Okay.
so the booking stuff is probably going to be, we're probably going to be employing a booking agent coming up. So hopefully
Okay.
we're going to start getting a chance to get in front of some of the guys like American Aquarium and 49 Winchester and some of the Band of Heathens, and like before we can start getting up to the Eric Churches and stuff like that of the world, we'll work our way where we fit in.
I happen to know, God, what's his, do you know DJ Silver? Have you ever heard of him? He
Yeah,
has a house out in Nashville. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
buddy of mine, actually.
I've met him before.
So-
Yeah, I know that dude.
Yeah, he's the DJ for, I can't remember his name, country guy, Jason. I don't
Aldine.
know. Yeah, that's
Hey.
it. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm friends with him on Instagram. We've met up a couple times.
Uh, on Silver.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
cool.
that- dude,
Well, I
that's not a very big world out there, by the way.
Oh yeah, no.
knows
But yeah. He's a good dude. So it's like whenever I hear country, I always think of him because he does the country hip hop kind of thing. But
Yeah.
he's been a DJ for a long
So-
time.
So he started doing some work with that Whiskey Jam thing down there.
Right.
Like they do Whiskey Jam is like a huge deal, and man, I saw him. He got that gig one night, and that was, man, he's badass, dude.
Yeah.
got some
He's
skills,
pretty
man.
impressive. Yeah, for
No
sure.
doubt.
Well, that's cool, man. I'm glad you. That's funny, man. I'll have to like once your shit's out, dude. I'll do a mashup of it and give it to him.
Dude, it's really crazy, man, to like hear like a lot of these names that you're like talking about and shit. Because I used to work with them when I was all in my active addiction, running sound. Because for some reason my ears still worked, even though I was like shooting dope in the bathrooms. And I was I got to
probably
work
working
with like
better.
some of these people, dude. Yeah, well, that's what I thought back then. I was like, oh, dude, if I don't have any drugs, there you go, touch my face while I'm talking. See, it's not that hard to deal with. So it's yeah, dude, it's really cool to see how far these guys have come since then.
Yeah.
You look at like the Whiskey Myers. You look at, dude, I was there for one of like Co Wetzel's like first tours. Whenever he did a show, I worked with Uncle Lucia. I worked with like a lot of these badass people, dude, that
Kevin?
have really stuck out and made a name for themselves. Oh yeah, dude, I've known Kevin for a while, man, and then they just got back together, dude. How fucking cool is that? They have some really haunting music.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, who would you credit as some of your biggest influences in music?
I was raised on like Pearl Jam. Chris Cornell is probably like one of my favorites. Like I love.
Dude, when he
grunge.
died, it made me cry for sure.
Oh, for sure. I still think, by the way, I got conspiracies, and we should probably not go down that road.
I do too.
But I loved Merle Haggard. I know it's kind of weird. My influences are Merle Haggard, Hank Jr., and Eddie Vedder and Chris Cornell. That's like, and then you could probably even throw in like Run DMC, bro, because I freaking love those guys too. So
Right.
kind of an eclectic little brew, but like I always really appreciated the songwriter. I love the way that David Gilmour did his thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dave Grohl is one of my favorites. And it's like all of the guys that I feel like the people, it's like your buddy BJ, it's like it's the people that have that. It's smart writing, like intelligent, smart songs, like that are subjective, that they make you think, that you can take it, like one person can hear it, and extrapolate something that means something to them, and another person can get this totally different message,
Completely
but equally
different, yeah.
meaningful. That is the drive for me. I'm not.
I like it.
And then when you can like accurately convey whatever emotion and whatever feeling it was through something without ever, talking about that thing, people can just feel it. That's when that shit, because all the musicians that you were talking about, dude, like, god damn, were they good at that? It's like David Gilmour, he wasn't the most technical guitar player of all time, dude, but he just had that soul and that vein when he played.
Yeah. You thought a brother was playing when you were listening. If you didn't know David Gilmour, if you didn't know Pink Floyd was white with the soul on his guitar, it's kind of like a brother was playing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
He had some bluesy, soulful stuff, man.
Yeah.
Right. So hey, I have a question to go back to recovery real quick.
Yeah.
What was it like? So as far as recovery, so it was like, were you strictly a 12-step guy, and then do you remain active? Because I know a lot of time people will get some clean time under their belt and then just back way off. So just curious where you're at with what you do and your maintenance, so to speak.
Man, that's a fantastic question, and it hits me right between the eyes today, because like I do a Tuesday meeting that's got it's a men's meeting. It's on a Zoom call, which I'm not like 100% how I don't know exactly. I'd much rather do person to person, but the Zoom thing, it does what it does, and it's a group of us. Most of us are touring musicians or actors or directors or whatever. So it's really cool because when on the call, there's only probably 10 or 12, 13 people, and all of them are people you guys would probably recognize. But it's an amazing group of support, and that's really cool. But it's not enough right now. My sponsor died last year, and I was actually in the
Sorry to
Kessler
hear that.
green room. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I didn't ever see this one coming. My sponsor was here in Dallas, and he was hitting golf balls in his golf simulator in his garage. Apparently, it turned out he hit a 7-iron right down the middle, but he had a massive heart attack and died. So. So I get the phone call from Casey Moran. Michael Moulton was actually in the room when I got the phone call, because I was in the Kessler green room with Ray, and he was going to a show. I get this phone call, and that my sponsor passed away. And what are the odds, dude, that I'm sitting right next to my future sponsor to be? By the way, I don't.
Right.
But anyways, it's like.
So he's your sponsor then?
Yeah, man, he's working with me now. So and
well, that's cool.
He's like, hey, I'll sit in as a temporary sponsor for you if you want, buddy.
Right. Well, that's funny because like I actually know Jeff Lyles over there at the Kessler.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I know him from back in the Bills Records days, so I've known him for quite a while.
Wow. Yeah, man.
So, wow, you're old.
so the thing that to answer your question, man, it's been a struggle right now. I've been like,
Yeah.
because this thing's taken off, and just like what you alluded to, the heat's off. The cops aren't looking for me. My family appreciates me. My wife is happy the way that I talk to her and my stepdaughter, and and I'm doing the things that I outwardly that I know that I should be doing, but because I haven't been putting the work in like I know that I need to on my program, I feel like I get a little wobbly sometimes, man.
Right.
So,
Well, I was going to say, but you also have that Calm app. So that kind of, I mean, I know it's not a meeting, but it's also something that you kind of stay regimented to. And I mean, there's also another app out there that I actually use called I Am Sober. Which is a day counter and all kinds of thing that maybe another way to stay connected. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I got a couple of those little tools that I've worked with, but this right here that we're doing, the three of us, this is it. This is what I'm talking about. This is as Ray would say, I'm participating in my sobriety right now.
Yeah,
it's funny. I've always heard his name, but I've never actually heard him talk. So I'm gonna have to go look him up and. I was gonna go say I gotta go see video of him and you see how good your whatchamacallit, your not impersonation is. Yeah. Is it? I've got a really good Bill Weisner from Bill's Records.
Give it to me.
I gotta, it's,
How's your ass?
But it's just him smoking. That's it.
Oh shit, that's funny, dude.
Yeah. But, well, dude, I mean, so anything, any advice you want to give any listeners out there for the music career, sobriety, anything, anything else? Yeah.
I heard something the other day that hit me between the eyes. It's like, find whatever it is that excites you and pour everything that you can to it with integrity. Pour everything you can to it without any reservation or expectation of the outcome.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's kind of what I do. I mean, I do music. I mean, yeah, sure, it'd be cool to have all these ancillary things, but I do music because I absolutely love it.
Yeah. And the last part with I think that is the toolkit that gets us excited, gets us moving forward, and it takes our expectations away. One of the things that I noted, one of the things that Ray has told me a bunch of times, he says, as long as my expectations are greater than as long as my gratitude is greater than my expectations, then I'm going to have a pretty good day.
Right.
Yeah, man. My serenity is directly proportionate to my expectations.
Absolutely. 100%. And I feel like, I don't know that that's necessarily meaning, hey, take your expectations down on everybody because they suck. That's not it. It's really more like, just don't expect to anybody to be a certain way because you have no control over that thing. And when I let go of that, I don't have to try to tell people what to do. And then that takes that whole thing out of the way, and I can just focus on what it is that I need to be doing to take care of myself. Those little chips that we get.
Yeah, that's a hard one, and a big one that you're bringing up there is actually, as far as being the narrator of your story and everything going to plan on how you want it to go is not the way to go. You know what I mean?
I had to get rid of my expectations for Kelly to not be a pussy.
There we
for
go.
me to fully realize that he was just a pussy. And I don't expect him to act any other way, dude.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? And I love him just the way he is.
And likewise,
I love him
Chad.
just the way he is, dude.
I
love him just the way
groping
he is, dude.
me. But yeah, I mean, and really that's pretty much it, is just being okay with your inner pussy.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway, sorry for taking it that way.
Your show, man.
Yeah, but I appreciate you coming on, and man, like, definitely, like, after, the album comes out, dude, we'd love to have you on, and maybe, hey, I got an idea. Do you want to play us, a sneak peek of a track you got coming up?
I probably can.
I like to put you, let's put you on the spot, dude.
Well, I probably need to anyways, man. To be honest. So thanks for reminding me. Let's see.
Yeah.
Drop D.
Alrighty. Hold up. Let's get this thing in tune first.
All right. Yeah.
Well, that's one thing about these. My guitar's been riding around in the back of the truck.
Right.
It gets a little warm back.
It's okay.
there.
I can always edit the tuning part out.
Okay, good.
So yeah, no big deal. Take your time.
Yeah, so I wrote this song. It's called Mountain Liar. I wrote it because a buddy of mine, Joe Alexander, I'll call him out by name because we were up there in Colorado, and he was telling me that he had all his shit together. Like he was telling me how his sobriety was and how he was good and everything. But dude, he looked like total shit. So I knew he was bullshitting me. And we know that we see it when we see it. You can't bullshit a bullshitter, so to speak.
Right.
So I wrote this song, and I think Ray's gonna sing on it, y'all.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Step by step, 3-man climb. Careful now, son, take your time. He said, I'm good, there's no reason to change. Said I've been there, I just got out. You can't win some, there ain't no doubt. He said, I've got this licked, no doubt about it. I said, you don't have to tell me twice. I can see my lies behind your eyes. Air's getting colder, thinner as we go, until there's nothing left to hold. It's the only peace I know. Getting higher, body's tired. This heat gets heavy, mountain liar. You know it's easy to get hurt when it's you against the dirt. I said, you don't have to tell me twice. I can see my lies behind your eyes. Air's getting colder, thinner as we go, until there's nothing left to hold. It's the only peace I know. You don't have to tell me twice. I can see my lies behind your eyes, yeah. And it's getting colder, thinner as we go,
All
yeah,
right,
dude.
man. Yeah. I love it. Hey, yeah, by the way, that didn't record, so can you do that again? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you, man. Oh, yeah, dude, don't you hate that? Hey, by the way, we weren't recording that time, but so, yeah. But no, we got it, man. But no, that sounds badass, dude. So I'm excited for the album to come out, man. And then we'll be on the lookout for that. And then we'll definitely have to have you come back and maybe get you in studio and have you play a couple of the hits off the album.
Let's do it, man. Let's make it happen.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be sick, dude.
Yeah, well, I'm
Because
excited.
that's the first live performance we've had on the show.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. You know, I'm excited for you, man. I think you got something there. So,
Already.
yeah.
Well, cool, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no
man.
problem. And anybody you'd like to shout out? I always like to give the guest a chance to shout out whoever they want.
Man, I tell you what, it's just a big shout out to old Michael Moulton, man, for setting all this up with us, man. I appreciate him getting an opportunity to meet you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll take it. All right, dude. Well, good luck with the album release, man. And we'll keep eyes out, and we'll keep definitely we'll stay in touch and figure out when we can have you back on.
All right.
All right. Have a
All
good
right,
one,
see you,
brother.
man.
All right, Chadwick.
Take care.
As always, somewhat of a pleasure, even though you're a huge gaping pussy.
Oh, dude. Oh, dude. That was
that's
good.
so
That was
sweet.
good. I could tell you were lying because of how long that took you to say that. You're a fucking liar.
All right. Well, anyway, be sure to like, subscribe, all that mumbo jumbo. Next week, I believe we have George Hess. He is a legend in the dance music arena, does stuff with Armand Van Buren, all that
Yeah,
kind of
man.
stuff. So I'm excited to have him on. And other than that, like, subscribe, and blah, blah, blah. And remember, kids, there is no magic pill for sobriety, because
Stop
if
touching
there
me.
was, we would all take too many.
Activate.